Hello, welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Fidelia Aguncha. The Nigerian Army has announced the redeployment of major officers, including the commander of the Northeast Anti-Terrorism Operation, Lafia Dole. Major General A.M. Diko was appointed as theater commander of that operation in a statement signed by Army spokesperson Brigadier General Texas Chukwu. The posting also affected principal staff officers both at the Defense and Army headquarters as well as general officers commanding GOCs. The former commander of the Northeast Operation, Leo Irabo, has been appointed as Chief of Defense Training and Operation in the Defense headquarters, while Major General L.O. Adeosun takes over as Chief of Training and Operations at the Army headquarters. The Theater Commander Operation Lafia Dole and Force Commander of the Multinational Joint Task Force was also affected by the posting. Others are Major General C.O. Ude, who was posted as new Force Commander of the Multinational Joint Task Force, Jamena. The deployment comes hours after an attempted attack by Boko Haram insurgents on Jacana town in Kaga local government area of Borno State. The insurgents, armed with sophisticated weapons, attacked to invade the town on Wednesday evening, but were repelled by soldiers and police officers. Jacana is situated along the Maiduguri-Kano highway. It has never fallen to the Boko Haram despite repeated attacks by the terror group. The Maiduguri-Kano highway is considered one of the safest routes in Borno in the past 4 years. In Katsina, an estimated 2,000 internally displaced persons have benefited from a 3-day medical outreach organized by the Nigerian Air Force. The Medical Intervention Program, which is an initiative of the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, commenced from July 25th to 27th after a flood which killed more than 50 persons in Jibia local government area of the state. Group Captain Azubike Chukwuka, Director of Public Health and Humanitarian Services of the Air Force, said the outreach follows the directive of the Chief of the Air Staff to provide humanitarian assistance to the victims of the recent flooding. Some of the services provided include mass deworming of children, medical checkups, distribution of treated mosquito nets, eyeglasses and drugs, while patients with surgical cases were also operated upon. Now, with the rainy season at its peak, environmental hazards like ocean surge and flooding have become a menace in many states across Nigeria. The constant change in the climate poses a major threat to countries like Nigeria, where the preservation of the environment is downplayed. Experts have warned that if left unchecked, coastal areas in Nigeria will be submerged by 2050. The growing effect of climate change has left countries the world over struggling with numerous environmental challenges. In Nigeria, ocean surge have caused havoc in many coastal communities, displacing millions as water from the ocean erode lands. And in the arid north of the country, unusual heavy storm is causing unprecedented flooding there. A recent rainstorm and flooding in the northwestern state of Katsina killed over 50 and displaced thousands of residents in the community of Jibia.
With the advent of climate change, which is causing rising seas and exacerbating floods, as well as bringing bigger storms to the coast, we have been experiencing the disaster of coastal erosion. And because of climate change, you're having very, very heavy rains coming down in short periods of time. So the rivers are now carrying more water with less capacity to carry those water, so they will flood more. But if we're going to be living on what is known as floodplains, we know where the floods will come. If we're going to be living there, then we have to expect that those floods will cause terrible, terrible damage.
Among the worst hit by the effect of climate change are coastal communities in the Nigerian commercial city of Lagos and 6 other states bordering the Atlantic Ocean. In Lagos, some coastal communities are rapidly being submerged beneath the encroaching ocean, with residents losing their ancestral homes. One of such communities is Okun Alpha.
What actually happened here is that this sea troubles us so much it has washed away houses. Even the community is underwater. That vessel you see over there behind me, the community's boundary was once there, but now erosion has eaten the land.
Particularly, especially in the Lagos area, the coastal erosion has been very rapid and massive, which is why we lost the almost 2 kilometers of coconut-strewn beachfront of the Bar Beach, and we almost lost portions of the Victoria Island.
But aside the change in the climate, experts say a number of human activities is also responsible for the problem, calling for a change in attitude.
The reality is that human activities are very, very much responsible for the larger ocean surges and for the erosion that's taking place. Like burning fossil fuel, emitting carbon dioxide will upset the natural God-given balance of the atmosphere, which is actually what is making planet Earth livable. The reality facing the human race is that we either make a definite decision to evolve into a more caring and compassionate people, or we drive ourselves into extinction, just like we have done to many other species, just as we are now doing to many species.
Environmentalists in Nigeria like Desmond believe the federal government needs to channel more resources, especially its ecological fund, to effectively tackle the issue.
People are appealing to the federal government to come in with the ecology fund, whose deployment has been quite strange, to assist Lagos State government. So what a lot of people are hoping is that the federal government, which very rightly is emphasizing a lot of resources and time on protecting the northern region from the exacerbation of the drought and desertification that's going on there, to also protect the coast of Nigeria, where millions of our people live.
There is a growing worldwide movement to tackle climate change and decarbonize our ecosystem. With every individual and the government playing an active role, we will be one step closer to saving our life support system, planet Earth. In politics, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshiomhole, has vowed not to go after lawmakers who left the party on Tuesday. Oshiomhole made the pledge at a meeting with the remaining lawmakers in the House of Representatives at the party secretariat in Abuja. He accused the defectors of lacking political ideology and noted that their departure will give him room to reshape the party.
These are crucial times for the ruling All Progressives Congress. The party has lost a total of 52 lawmakers in the National Assembly, with 45 heading to the opposition People's Democratic Party. This meeting between the national chairman, Adams Oshiomhole, and the remaining members in the House of Representatives is one of the many the party has held to stop further defections. Here, the national chairman tells lawmakers he will not go after their colleagues who left the party. He accuses the defectors of lacking political ideology.
If we are bonded together on the basis of set of ideas or ideology, it will be difficult for people who subscribe to this ideology to decamp on the basis of not gaining for his pocket rather than not delivery to the welfare of the Nigerian people. Until we get there, these musical chairs will continue. It will continue. I said the other day, and I believe it, but if you are a man or a woman of honor, you cannot in the morning vomit all of those impurities in your stomach, and then in the afternoon, because you are not getting a buffet, you convert that vomit to a lunch and eat it with your eyes open. You have to be completely bereft of ideas and of anything such as honor to be able to do that and look your people in the face. And I say to those who say they are going to PDP, good, that is where you belong.
Oshiomhole says he is working on rebranding the party to become more people-oriented.
What we need as a party to succeed, I said to people, sir, I said, let's stop describing ourselves as the largest party. We shouldn't borrow discarded PDP slogans, largest party in Africa. I want to be celebrated as the most cohesive, progressive, committed, people-oriented, people-driven, people-centered party. The smartest party, not the most bogus party.
His words were re-echoed by the majority leader in the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, who accused the defectors of chasing automatic political tickets which were not on offer in the APC.
Mr. Chairman, not only are they being offered mouth-watering cash offers, they are also being offered automatic tickets. And I say to members, the people who are complaining about internal democracy in APC, a complaint which I do not agree with. How ironic it is that they are being offered automatic tickets. What happened to the internal democracy they are complaining about in the other party? It makes no sense. Our members have seen through their deceit, because that's all it is. And I can guarantee members and those who have gone, I can guarantee that the so-called automatic tickets will be a mirage.
He noted that some of the defectors will soon return to the party.
We have all seen the euphoria. Yes, I sent to you. The euphoria of the campaign. It has all died down. Even within 24 hours, some are even regretful. We're beginning to see people come back after seeing the handwriting and what that, oh, it came and it went like that. Mr. Chairman, they have left some people left thinking the pasture was greener on the other side. Some have now come back saying that green pasture is not so green.
With the 2019 elections just months away, the defections are expected to play a key role in shaping the outcome of that poll. Though the APC has remained confident it will not be affected by the recent happenings, the coming months are expected to paint a clearer picture of what to expect in February and March 2019.
Meanwhile, Senator Dino Melaye has announced he has escaped an alleged plot to kidnap him. The senator's alleged abduction was announced by Senator Ben Bruce via Twitter on Thursday. Bruce had alleged Melaye was abducted on his way to a court hearing in Kogi State. The police in a statement later on Thursday announced they had received no complaint on the alleged kidnapping and called for reports on the true situation. Less than 24 hours after the alleged abduction, Melaye has now announced he has regained his freedom after hiding out in a bush. In other news, another batch of 162 Nigerians have voluntarily returned from Libya with the assistance of the International Organization for Migration. The returnees were received by the officials of the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA at the cargo wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. Speaking while receiving the returnees, the Southwest Zonal Coordinator of NEMA, Yakubu Suleiman, advised youth trying to travel to shun irregular migration. Up next is News in Business after this break.
Buhari, now you will support. Nigerians, they say Buhari, now you will support. Oh, Buhari, empower. Buhari, empower, they say Buhari, now you will support. Kada, keke drivers, they say Buhari, now you will support. Ethnic groups, they say Buhari, now you will support. Now you will want chairman Buhari. Now Buhari, now you will support. Buhari, now you will support. Civil servants, they say Buhari, now you will support. Police call, they say Buhari. Farmers are saying Buhari. Market people are saying, you know, Buhari, now you will support. Not too young to wrong me. Buhari, now you will support. Now you're walking, yo. Buhari, now you will support. Buhari, now Buhari, now you will support.
You're welcome to the business side of the news. I am Annetta Felix. With Nigeria's inflation coming down, food prices are surprisingly still going higher. This is according to a new report by the country's Bureau of Statistics. Now, what exactly is pushing these prices higher? TV360's Adeshawa Odushoga has been finding out.
For the 17th consecutive month, Nigeria's inflation rate has been recording steady decline, with the figures now at 11.23%. That figure represents an impressive economic improvement from a previous record high 18.72% reached in February 2017. Since then, the figures have been reducing slightly, even below government's targets of 12.4%.
In terms of beans, the beans is cost, but in terms of rice, the rice is cheaper than the beans. So if I would say is when they said they want to close the border in terms of rice, but now the rice is coming down. But in the side of the beans, they said they want to import the new one. The new one is coming out, so that's why it's cost.
These would normally mean a fall in food prices, but that is not the case. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, there are still increases in food prices, with major increases recorded in bread, cereal, yam, potatoes, and other tubers. Marketers are indifferent on the causes of the increase. But what exactly is driving the increase in food prices? The Director General of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce, Muda Yusuf, believes that the increase in food inflation is as a result of the current security challenges the country is facing.
There are quite a number of factors impacting on food prices. First, there is the challenge of productivity, which has been rather stagnant in the face of rising demand for food and in the face of growing population. That is a factor. Secondly, there are also issues affecting the capacity to produce. There is a security challenge that is affecting quite a number of farming communities. We have a series of challenges from the herdsmen. We have the Boko Haram issues in the northeast, in the north central. We have the herdsmen attack across the country. And the target of these attacks are mainly the farming communities. So this security challenge has significantly affected agricultural output, particularly food output in the country. So, and the situation with inflation is that once you have a shortfall in supply, prices will go up. So that's a major factor. Thirdly, there is the issue of climate change. Increasingly, we are having challenges with desertification. We are having challenges with lakes that are drying up. Farm arable lands are diminishing in size. So all this is also affecting the supply side of our agricultural sector. So that is also affecting the food supply. Then, of course, there is the trade policy angle. Most of the imported food items are charged very high tariff. Some are under even complete import prohibition. Some of them are on the 41 items list, which cannot access foreign exchange. So the trade policy angle is also there, although the whole idea is to encourage local production of food. But part of the impact is that it has affected the cost of food items.
Yusuf then lists the solutions which stabilize food prices across the country.
What the government needs to do is to step up its security surveillance, to support the military to ensure that they have a better handle of the situation, they're able to secure the country better than what it is, so that much more people can return to their farms. Because as we speak, many of the farmers now are in the IDP camps, not doing anything, and the rainy season is here. They are supposed to be on their farms. So the security situation, I think government needs to be on top of it. The government needs to strengthen intelligence, because if you don't have strong intelligence, you can't deal with the kind of security situation that we have now. As it's an unusual situation, and you cannot be using the conventional security approach to deal with an unconventional security problem. So it's a question of rejigging and reviewing the entire security strategy for the country.
The increased food prices comes at a time the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria left interest rates at 14% for the second consecutive year. The committee also asked the federal government to address the crisis between farmers and others, warning that if left unchecked, it would exert inflationary pressure on the economy and push up food prices even further. Adeshawa Odushoga, TV360, Lagos.
Google will launch free Wi-Fi facilities in about 200 sites in Lagos and 5 other states in Nigeria. This was disclosed by the Google Nigerian Country Director Juliet Chiazo at the unveiling of the Google station. Nigeria is the 5th country to launch Google station, following India, Indonesia, Mexico and Thailand. Chiazo said the free Wi-Fi was rolled out in partnership with an internet service provider with extensive fiber network, adding that the company was open to partnership.
We announced that we are rolling out Google Station in Nigeria. This is working with telecom operators and ISP partners to provide high-quality, fast, free public Wi-Fi service to users so that more people can access the internet and get education, get information, find ways to expand their businesses, and so many other benefits that we've seen the digital platforms provide to Nigerian people. We also made a pledge that we are going to roll Google Station in collaboration with partners to 200 locations in Nigeria, expanding to 5 cities outside of Lagos by end of 2019. And we really look forward to working with the private sector and government to make this possible, because Nigerians should not be left behind. We have a large young population in Nigeria. They are very talented, very vibrant. When they have access to the right tools and information, they do great things.
Isoko elders are appealing to President Muhammadu Buhari to look into the closure of 15 oil wells by the Shell Petroleum Development Company, SPDC. At a meeting at the presidential villa on Friday, they appealed to the president to direct the NNPC to immediately commence production in the oil wells, which they say have been abandoned for over 10 years.
We came begging Mr. President to talk to MPDC and NNPC to go and commence an oil field that has been, abandoned for almost, 10, 15 years. And up to now, the communities are protecting the facility. You cannot hear anything about vandalism or kidnapping in our area. It's not in Isoko at all. So our pain is that, is it an offense to be peaceful? So we are asking Mr. President to reward us for being a peaceful ethnic nation. Mr. President has said that he's going to call the relevant agencies to discuss with them so that he can correct the wrong. That is what Mr. President has said. And we believe in him that he will do something.
The equities markets closed Friday's trading session, recording a 0.58% increase in the all-share index to close at 36,636.97 basis points, with a market capitalization of 13.271 trillion naira. Leading a chart of 42 gainers are Cement Company of Northern Nigeria, Dangote Sugar, International Brewers PLC, and Forte Oil closing at 31.35 naira, 16.5 naira, 37 naira, and 24 naira, respectively. The 9% laggards for today are led by Seplat Petroleum Development Company Limited, Berger Paints PLC, Total Nigeria PLC, and MPF Microfinance Bank. They closed at 625 naira, 8 naira, 199.8 naira, and 101.57 naira, respectively. The most patronized equities for today are Medview Airline, United Bank for Africa, Zenith Bank, and Fidelity Bank. In a total of 3,735 deals with 311.362 million shares worth 3.271 billion naira were traded today. And that's all on our business lineup for today. The rest of the news continues in just a moment.
Corruption not in my country.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
My name is Alero. I am not sick. I just need you to help put your stamp on this medical report. I want to tender it at my office as a sick leave. I'll pay 10,000 naira.
Ma'am, that is impersonation. I'm not a doctor.
Oga, be like say this English no go pay. I go increase the money to 20,000 naira. I beg. You know, if I give you that 20,000, as you wide, so you know, if it still help your condition more. So you know, say you spread well.
As I spread like virus, I mean.
You talk.
Come out! If person come to your hospital, talk to make you give a fake medical report, make you go take collect sick leave. Talk and say no, not corruption. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
To the foreign scene now, South Africa's former President Jacob Zuma has appeared at the Pietermaritzburg High Court on corruption charges relating to a $2.5 billion arms deal in the late 90s. The case has, however, been adjourned to November 30. The trial is a rare example of an African leader being held to account for his actions. Zuma, who was ousted by the ruling party in February, however, denies any wrongdoing. His lawyer has now filed a permanent stay of prosecution against the charges. The state will give its response to the application on November 30. For the fifth straight year, at least 1,500 migrants have perished in the Mediterranean, with the route between Libya and Italy being the deadliest, claiming the lives of 1 in 19. This is according to the UN Migration Agency. Spain, which has overtaken Italy as the preferred destination, has registered nearly 21,000 migrants so far this year, almost more than all of last year. In all, about 55,000 migrants have reached Europe's shores so far this year, against more than double that number at this time last year. Now looking at sports, a former Super Eagles goalkeeper Carl Ikeme has announced his retirement from professional football. Ikeme announced his retirement in a video posted on the website of his club, Wolverhampton Wanderers. The 32-year-old, who was diagnosed with leukemia in 2017, had previously announced the news to his teammates before a training session at Compton on Tuesday morning. He said the decision was taken after consultation with medical experts following his 12-month battle with acute leukemia. He had announced last month that he was in complete remission from the disease. FC Rebels Rashidat Ajibade tops Nigeria's final squad for the 2018 Under-20 Women's World Cup bid for France. The 18-year-old striker, who was impressive in the Falconet African qualifier, finishing as joint top scorer with 10 goals, topped the 21-woman team by coach Christopher Danjuma. The Falconet squad composed of 3 goalkeepers, 6 defenders, 7 midfielders and 5 strikers will aim to secure their first ever World Cup glory in their 9th appearance this year. Senegal has extended the contract of coach Aliou Cissé by a year, but gave him the difficult task of ensuring his team reached the final of next year's African Nations Cup tournament. Senegal became the first side eliminated at a World Cup on the fair play rule after finishing level with Japan, but being placed behind them in the group standings because of a higher number of cautions received during the tournament in Russia. The 42-year-old Cissé took over as coach in March 2015, and at the last Nations Cup in Gabon in early 2017 saw his side beaten on post-match penalties in the quarterfinals. He captained Senegal at the 2002 World Cup in Japan and South Korea, where they beat holders France in the opening game and reached the quarterfinals. Well, that's it on News Now. You can watch some of our other programs on our website at www.tv360nigeria.com, and you can also watch us on Facebook at facebook.com/TV360online. You can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TV360Nigeria, and we are also live on YouTube at youtube.com/TV360Nigeria, and on Google Plus our handle is TV360Nigeria. Thank you so much for watching.